Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the campus of Nashua North High School here in the Gate City. It's Battle of the Bridge Week, and that's right, here in the North High School Gymnasium, we have the Nashua South Purple Panthers taking on the host school, the Nashua North Titans. Hello, everybody. My name is Jason Roby, along with Tim O'Keefe, longtime Lowell wrestling coach. And Tim, this is a city steep in tradition, steep in history. We have two programs here, though, that are kind of on the way back up, rebuilding since the split of the two schools.
No doubt. Growing up, I did coach at Lowell, but wrestling at Lowell in the 80s and 90s, it was always a battle when you went with Nashua. Coach Bellavance, the teams, they always had a bunch of studs, state, New England's, lots of champions. There was great history here. 2 years ago doing this, we were in the Nashua South Auditorium, and what a difference now. Both programs have been resurrected. Coach Zabolis, Coach Langlois is doing a great job.
Yeah, you mentioned Coach Zabolis and Coach Langlois really getting more and more kids out for the sport, more and more kids participating as we take a look at the South kids out on the mat right now. This all starts at a very young age, doesn't it, Coach? It starts with the kids at the Boys and Girls Club, a program that really is the roots of in here in the city. Can you talk to us a little bit about that program?
Yeah, it's a great feeder program. I think to be viable, and especially the cities, having, I know a lot of the success our teams had back in Lowell is because you had great coaches at the Boys Club level. Coach Sam Howe, who runs the Boys Club. My son actually participates in it. They're doing a wonderful job. There's probably 50 to 80 kids there every Tuesday, Friday.
Wow.
You don't turn anybody away. Anybody can wrestle, and that's the big plus.
That's a great thing for especially for a city that has so many kids that and having opportunities like this to join the wrestling team. We see boys and girls on both teams getting out on the mat and doing their thing. And we had, as you mentioned, the Boys and Girls Club. They were here tonight, and they like to bring the younger wrestlers in, let them get on the mat, and represented by North and South collectively, and they get on the mat and grapple a little bit in the middle, and they get a taste for what they have to look forward to here in the city in the coming years. And it must be a great experience for those young kids to kind of work with the older kids.
Absolutely. I mean, those are the people you look up to. Those are your heroes. A lot of times it's families. If you look at the referee, a wrestler himself, they were New England place winners. His son was a New England champ. It's just these kids need to learn wrestlers stick together. People keep coming back to it, and going back to the youth program, they are doing a wonderful job. Nashua has a unique thing. Their middle schools have wrestling coached by former wrestlers. A lot of these guys are here tonight supporting this. They were out here, and it's big for the fans. It's big for the families, and hopefully you got to keep growing wrestling.
And you mentioned it seems like it's a family, right? They give back. It's paying it forward, so to speak. They come back. They work with the younger kids, and they keep the interest alive. I was just in the North Wrestling practice facility, and a lot of individuals up there in terms of state, in terms of the state level, the class level, and then even some New England champions. But really the golden age, the golden era is what both of these teams, I'm sure, aspire to be.
No doubt. No doubt. And trust me, being here a couple of years ago, I've done it before in the Nashua South gym. It was packed. But to see where these programs are going now, and obviously, you have the right coaches on staff. You have some assistants that coach other sports that can help kids, bring them along, recruit them. It's a big plus because honestly, with wrestling, I always say it, you don't choose wrestling, it chooses you. It's a difficult sport, but it's a great sport, and it's a family sport.
Tim, it appears as though, and we talked about the shortage of numbers a few years ago, especially with the North team, it appears as we're going to have a full slate of weight classes here tonight. It looks like every weight class is going to be represented, which is a nice thing to see. We're talking about 3 2-minute periods to get on the mat and do your thing. Can you talk a little bit about the scoring and how that works for people that might be new to the sport?
Right. A pin's worth 6 points, technical falls 5, major decisions 4, decisions 3. So when you're in tight matches, it's important to get pins. The great thing tonight, as far as some of the matchups, you have some place winners from Nashua North and Mickey Masson, Andy Tate, who are former place winners. I know you have the O'Connor kid at heavyweight that's already committed to play football. You have another Zach Gothic committed to play Riviera. So you have some athletes out here. You have some history, and these younger guys that are still trying to feel what this rivalry is like are going to have to step up to score some points and hopefully get some pins.
And going into this meet, you have to think Nashua South, the heavy favorite. But again, it's a victory for Nashua North in that every weight class rather, is represented. They'll send someone out to the mat to do battle, and if you're stepping on the mat, there's always a chance. You've always got a shot. And I think Coach Sabolis certainly hopes to learn a lot about his team, during this match here tonight.
Yeah, well, the good thing is, there are no guarantees, right? You don't know what's going to happen. Both coaches always, you kind of know your team, but you also know that upsets can happen. Momentum is huge. I watch a lot of wrestling, and momentum can carry you. If you pull an upset, that inspires the next kid. I think the biggest thing when you're a younger program, or it's the kids, it's really about the effort and fight, and it's not so much the wins and losses. You got to know, knock down 7 times, get up 8.
Right.
And you just got to show up to battle and know that if you're young, and you got to take your lumps sometimes. You just know, don't stop wrestling, don't give up on the sport, don't give up on yourself. You'll give those. You'll be the one victorious later.
Well said. He's Tim O'Keefe. I am Jason Roby. Tim O'Neill on the moving pictures. Our executive producer is Pete Johnson. We'll be right back with the start of the action here from the campus of Nashua North High School.
It's easy to look from above at the magnitude of the process and think that one missed individual questionnaire won't make a difference. Yet when we take a closer look at the purpose of the census, we see that responses are used to decide how many seats each state gets in the U.S. House of Representatives, where and how money is spent throughout the land, and how state officials use the results to redraw the boundaries of their congressional and state legislative district. Responding to the 2020 census means your state gets fair representation in federal government. It means your community has access to money for important investments, like a new park, improvements to schools and hospitals, public transportation, and so much more. Although the task of knowing how our population is dispersed in the United States is daunting, it comes down to you to do your part in being counted. Each and every person is important when advocating for representation and for funding. Nashua is counting on you.
And we are back here at the campus of Nashua North High School. Jason Roby along with longtime Lowell coach Tim O'Keefe as the captains come out to the center of the mat to shake hands and make introductions. And Tim, I just got word we are going to be starting at the 106 weight class tonight.
That's great. That's a traditional start. Finish it with the heavyweights. There is now a coin flip, so it could start anywhere. So it's nice when it starts with the lower weights.
So for those that don't know, Tim, that's how it starts. They flip a coin, and that determines what weight class we'll start at?
I shouldn't say flip. You draw. You
Okay.
just draw, and it's nice when everybody determines 106.
All right. The home team, the Nashua North Titans, will be represented by the green, and the Purple Panthers will be red here this evening as our official, Joel Paul, I believe it is, will be calling it.
Joel Thone.
Thone,
He's
thank
a
you.
former New England place winner. His brothers were New England champs and place winners. His son was a New England champ. So, like we said earlier, it's a family atmosphere. families continue to wrestle, and that's what we need. And these kids, a lot of these kids, you know, their sons may end up wrestling. Some of them have it in their blood that their fathers wrestled.
All right, the 106s have reported Aiden Purrington for Nashua South wearing the red, and Matt Oliver with a 15-5 record. A couple of sophomores here, I believe, and we are underway at the campus of Nashua North as they...
Well, Oliver's looking for the front headlock right now, trying to get the head in the hole.
Drives him
Little
down.
cement mixer. No points. Both guys roll through. Just looking for that, let's get the near fall here. Reverse half. See, yep,
And
that's a
that'll
fall.
do it. And that's going to be a quick one for Matt Oliver. Went up early 2-0 and then got the pin. So North will come up 6-0.
Yeah, well, he missed the front headlock and ended up hitting him with the headlock, so good job.
Next up are the 113s. And Mimi Torres for Nashua North will be taking on Ryan Salami at 113. Once again, for those of you at home, you see the red anklet bands that they put on to represent scoring. And we are underway, second match of the night.
So Ryan Salimi bumped up from 106, it looks like here, right?
Yeah, I would say so, according to the information we had ahead of time.
Nice change to a double. Nice arch, so 2. Just working a cross wrist over here on the right side. Yep, coaches are yelling it, so probably looking for a cross wrist tilt, coming underneath now. Little padlock. Looks like they were attempting to lock up the cradle. Tying up that leg, it's important, and trying to set your hips here.
What's Mimi trying to do to get out of this right now, Tim?
I think just trying to square off, look for a stalemate, trying to just face the opponent. She still drives, still has a shot to come up and change off to a high C. So stalemate.
Stalemate.
Smart wrestling.
Good. 2-0. Nashua South, 1:10 to go here in the first period, and it looks like Torres will be in the down position.
Yep. You know, obviously the goal on bottom is to try to get you one escape or reverse. You come back. Look for the stand up. He did a good job blocking it. Now it looks like he's running the cross wrist again.
And a stand up would give her points, correct?
So she's reaching back.
Okay.
He's got to be careful of that. You can get, this is where you can get headlocked yourself. So he's got to set his hip. He's got double legs in now. Got to get the head up because, so, you know, right now he's most likely going to look to ride, you know, power half there, trying to turn, doing a good job coming up, bounce him off, oh, almost. So he's looking to run right now. Looks like he's reinforced bar. This is tough, so he's got to fight.
She's got 22 seconds to go here in the period.
Yep. You know, keep in mind, you know, these kids come out, they may get pinned, but the thing when you're the coach is you just got to make corrections. Little mistakes they make, it's, you know, it takes time. It's just you got to get back up, and it's going to happen in this sport. Anybody can be pinned. Now he's looking for the Merkel, trying to reverse. So good fight.
So that will be the end of the first period as
So deferred to South. They deferred. Nashua North's going bottom again.
okay. And a chance to get some points here for Torres, right? If she can stand up and get out of this.
Yep, that's the goal. Trying to get that one, get a fresh start. Reaching back right now. Looks like there's a reversal. So they did the right thing. Now you have a half. You have a 2-2 match. Now she's running the cross. Cross wrist. 2-on-1 cross wrist. It looks like to maybe tilt. You know, the bottom person has to, you have to be constantly fighting for hands, and he's doing a good job pressuring back. You know, in high school, it's a lot of times when that head's on the mat, it's hard to get off bottom, so you got to really pressure back. She's doing a great job running that 2-on-1, and now digging out an ankle, trying to break him to the hip.
Yeah, she's trying to roll him here, Tim?
Just trying to break him to his hip.
Yep.
He's doing the other, like what we talked about earlier, trying to face her, get a stalemate or reverse, which, here's the reversal now. It's coming right now.
Yep.
Well, no
Wow, good
reversal.
fight. Good
No
fight by
reversal.
her.
Good fight, absolutely. Right now, I got to get the head up and change off. Should be in a good place to change off to a double. So interesting here. He's locked, got to come up with the knees like he's doing. Just reach back, pressure back. He may get the reversal. So you now have two. You can see Coach Langlois telling him to reach back. So get a fresh start here with 36 seconds.
Looks like we're locked up at 4-4 here in the second period.
Yep.
36 seconds to go.
Yep. You know, this is where you really learn about your team. Come the third period, tight matches, conditioning.
They're coming to check at the table now to check on the scoring to see. All right, they're going to say 4-2 Nashua South. So
it was 2-0.
Yep.
She hit the reversal,
Yep.
and then he scored the reversal.
And it's good that they can come to the table and get that squared away.
Yep.
You know, you hate to see a technicality play a part in a match.
Yep, well, it's good the coaches are paying attention. It's always good to have somebody looking at it because it's very emotional when everybody's paying attention to what's in the center. You're not looking at the clock or the score. Headlock, you got to set your hips. So see what happens here. He's got to keep hipping in, and there's the headlock too. It's the second headlock tonight. She's fighting hard though. Got to belly down if she can.
8 seconds here in the period.
Yep.
We'll see if she can avoid being rolled.
Yep. Good job fighting. Good job fighting. So
End of the second period, a 9-2 advantage for Nashua South as we head into the third and final period. Some good fight in both of these wrestlers, no question. And they'll come back over again to the scorers table to see if they can figure out what the score is. 9-2 here at our table, Tim. So you have to believe that something like this, Tim, gives the advantage to the more tired wrestler, I would think.
yeah, well, without a doubt, rest time. Every time there's a break in the action, if your athlete can recover, that's important.
The conditioning that these kids go through, and I've been in the wrestling rooms on several occasions, and I'll tell you what, there are things that these kids are doing that sometimes don't even seem human in terms of the cardiovascular endurance that these kids have.
Well, that's the thing. You have to be in great shape. You try to prepare your teams to be in shape because you want to give them a fair shot. And it's already a difficult sport. It's, you know, what. They had it at 36 seconds left. That's what was up there.
Right. So we are in the
Sorry, back
second
home. Not
period.
sure what happened. It sounds like they
A 4-2 score, Tim.
okay.
Not quite sure.
So they're redoing
Okay.
the period.
I didn't know there were do-overs in
Yeah.
wrestling, Tim, but I guess you've seen pretty much everything at this point.
I'm not exactly sure what happened, but we have a match here. We have a 4-2 match with 15 seconds to go, and this is important. If you can't turn him, to keep him down, don't give him that point at the end of the period, because most likely you're going to have to start on bottom to get your one. Just looking for the headlock, and that's where you got to set your hips. It's not a change. You got no change, but what an effort.
Wow, great effort.
So they didn't give a one for an escape. They didn't give
He's saying
one.
no.
Yeah, they didn't say he lost control. So
4-2 as we
This
head
is
into
already
the
a
third
heated
period.
match
Yeah,
there,
it certainly is. But you know, this is what we came to see, right?
Yes,
I mean,
yes.
two great teams getting after. You can throw the records out the window. This is Battle of the Bridge Week. North versus South. Bragging rights at stake here.
Yep. Torres and Salami came to wrestle. They're putting on a show. So he did go bottom, a 4-2 match. You know, she's obviously looking to get some back points. You get a back point, you tie this match, you go into overtime. But the bottom guy, obviously, you have to score that one.
And in that overtime, would that be sudden death? Is that first point wins, or do they do time?
Usually it's first point and the takedown 1 minute. So he's looking right now. There's no change. Ref didn't indicate it yet, but he's in a good position. You know, depending on how much time goes by, this could end up being another stalemate. Sometimes it's best if you can't get that 2 just to push away and try to get 1. But it looks like should get his 2 here, but she's fighting. And, well, he got the 2.
There it is right there. You called it 6-2 now.
Head after, you know, it's a big, you know, when you're a coach, you're looking at things like if the head's on the mat now, and your athletes, you're looking at that too. You get a good feel what's left in the fight on everybody, and she's still fighting, still working to score. I mean, she's dangerous because if she reaches back, hits that headlock, you can end a match. Got to look away on the half. Looking into it is not an easy thing. So he did get the fall.
He got it to fall. 39 seconds left in that third period.
Exciting match, though.
Salami able to get the pin for Nashua South. 120s are up next. Colby Spencer and Ben Height.
He was a state finalist last year at 113.
Yeah, he's bumping up, right?
Yeah, going against a young sophomore, so it's a good experience for the young sophomore, and these matches get the guys that have been in the finals before. These are good experience for them, just to get some tune-up matches in. He's looking. He's got a padlock going. He's doing the reinforced bar. It's a quick takedown. Trying to run the double bars. He's going to sit on it, look up, and good job getting out by Ben Height. Now he hits him with just kind of a throw by to his back.
Good match so far. We are locked up at 6 apiece here.
Okay, we got another pin.
And there it is. The pin for Colby Spencer at 120.
12-6 match here. At this rate, it's going to be pin versus pin all the way through.
All right.
So Kyle Salami, they said, is 4 matches away from 100 victories in his career. He's a brother of Ryan.
And that is a huge milestone in any sport, but in wrestling, certainly getting 100 victories.
It's not easy to do.
Not easy to do.
Wins are not easy to get, but he's a 2-time D1 place winner. I guess he suffered an injury last year, so it's good when they recover and they come back. Looks strong. Mickey Matson at 126 was 5th in Division I last year. I always tell the story. His uncles wrestled at Lowell. Dave McNeil was a New England runner-up and ended up coaching with me at Lowell. We had the brothers. One of them was a 3rd New England, couple times state champ for us. So I always like to joke with the family and call them the McNeil bloodline. So this is going to be a good match. Seems like it's going to be the best matchup of the night.
I would say so. You know, you got
both guys
Matson
just fighting for position.
13-5 on the season thus far is Matson.
Yep.
So,
yep, keeping the head up. These guys are scrappers. Looking to lock that cradle up. Salami got his 2 right here. Trying to run the half, just tight waist. He's got a hand. He's looking to cradle, it appears. He's looking to jam. Bottom guy's in little iron frog, and then tries to do a quick
try to get
switch.
out of there.
Now he's going to get his 1. Good fight.
Good.
Okay, taking the old tap and go on a double. Just shot a little head on, had the head down, and you know Salami's a seasoned pro. It seems he's anticipating this. So nice little throw by off the front headlock. Seen a few front headlocks, and I always get the reinforced bar. These are grind on the body, so you got to really fight on bottom.
7 seconds to go here in the first period, and he looked right over at the clock.
Yep, so he knew. He's smart. You got to know the clock. You know, that's why coaches yelling the time. It's good. Keep them fighting.
Jason Roby along with Tim O'Keefe. Tim O'Neill on the moving pictures Pete Johnson is our executive producer. We are here at Nashua North High School for Battle of the Bridge Wrestling between the Titans of Nashua North and Nashua South Purple Panthers.
So Masson on top. He's looking like he likes the leg, so he's a leg guy. He's got to jump up on the hip. That's a unique thing about wrestling. You may be better than a guy on your feet, and then you go to the mat, and he's just better than you. And
that comes into play, right? Like when you scout
Yep.
your opponent, you know if you
Yep.
should be down or up, what their strengths and their weaknesses are. It's
Yep.
like scouting for anything.
Right. So he looks like he's a leg guy, and leg guys are tough. And sometimes, and I don't know what the outcome's going to be, but sometimes you do scout and you trust your athlete. You know where he's good, and obviously Salami knows exactly what he's doing, and he gets a reversal. Good fight there.
He goes up 6-1, 1:17 to go here in the second period of a 12-6 match thus far with the Panthers on top.
Yeah, Salami, he grinds on top. He likes to ride those wrists. He's all over you. Now he's looking for the wrist in half. This is big right here.
Got him.
There's the fall.
And there it was, Salami with the pin at 126. And that'll put the Purple Panthers up 18-6.
Yeah.
All right, we have Ruben Lay at 132 for Nashua South going against Andre Fry, a sophomore for the Nashua North Titans.
Yeah, Ruben Lay, it says, is a freshman, and two young wrestlers here. But Ruben Lay is 24-11 right now, ranked 3-4 in D1. So
And these
matches
are important, right, Tim? Because this is where you get your seeding for the state meets coming up in a couple of weeks.
They're all important because there's head-to-head matchups, and these kids probably wrestle all year long anyways, the Nashua South North kids against each other. But every match matters. It's the way the sport is, and the head-to-head, and Ruben's riding that armbar. It's tough. So you get a freshman and a sophomore. This is good. This is good for the future. Looking at hit the armbar. I don't know if he does have the wrists underneath. It's tough if you don't. Looks like somebody's yelling a suck back, you know. Kind of a little 2-on-1 roll to a tilt. So good action, 2-0. So it looks like he opted to do neutral to give the point.
And that point was awarded because?
Yep, instead of, you have an option. You can just tell the ref neutral, you give him the point, and that's why he's looking to get a quick 2, maybe open up a little bit. And sometimes when you're on your top guy's on top, if you don't turn after 30 seconds and you're trusted, the coach trusts you, you just extend the lead, play the takedown game. Take him down, let him up, and it worked right there. Another little slide by. He likes that bar, he's just got to get the wrist.
Lay goes up 4-1 now, 34 seconds to go in the first period.
Andrew Fry is doing a good job trying to stay on his belly. So there's the near fall. He ran that hard. Good fight. Just that quick little adjustment there. Right when they said to sit through, that was great adjustment Fry just made. Now trying to hoss him over with a little cement mixer chin.
And that's the end of the period. I think that should have been some points for
it should be a reversal. It should be 2. You should add. We have an escape.
I think they gave points to South on that escape, but the coaches.
Oh, they gave an escape. You're right. They didn't give a reversal. That's right.
So 7-2 here. Lay on the bottom. He stands right up.
Looking to hand fight. He's looking for the switch. Just one. That was smart by Tate. Now right into kind of a carry position. Gets his 2. He was the aggressor right on the attack. Built up a 10-2 lead right here. Now he's running that armbar. He likes that armbar. Bar on the wrist. Yep. Coach Langlois coaching him through right here. Suck back position here. So he's going to get his near fall. See what? No.
A lot of fight and fry.
Yeah, it looks like he had at least a 2 count.
Looks like it should.
Yep.
And it
fall.
does. Fall there for Nashua South. Ruben Lay at 132, pitting Andrew Fry. They shake hands in the center of the mat, and South will go up.
Yeah, these guys will see each other again.
24-6.
They're both young. They'll see each other again.
Kyle Vancelet at 138, along with Andrew Tate, ready to do action here. And even though it's 24-6 right now, Tim, I've seen some things from the Titans that, you know, they've done some nice things out on the mat.
Yeah. I mean, there's fight. The key is this fight and effort. Everybody's, you know, you got to make mistakes. It's just how the sport is. And sometimes some kids can make more mistakes, but there's a lot of fight. The energy's good. They're coming out competing and battling, and that's all you can ask for.
Right? I mean,
yeah, you can build on it. Absolutely. You just. Every coach knows what they have as a team, and if you have a younger team, you know you're going to take more lumps, but you stay positive, you keep building them up. It's the sport's it's a great sport. It's you know it's a challenging sport. It's tough, but the reality is it's already had itself. So when anytime 2 people go out in the arena, the lights are on them, you just got to applaud them because it's not an easy thing to do. So what they've done program-wise to get kids out, if you can be part of the football, you're recruiting kids out there, it's just huge to get the numbers because it is a numbers game. And it's a different training for a lot of kids that like to play lacrosse or play football. And you can convince kids to don't worry so much about the winning. Just look at the training you're going to get. You look at the NFL, how these guys like former wrestlers. I know, I believe Alabama had some wrestlers on the line, and versus Clemson who had wrestlers. And it's a big deal if you can get kids wrestling, even if it's not their sport. Just the skill set they learn. They learn how the body position. So we got a 2-0 match here.
Yeah, these kids definitely, they're in the greatest shape of their life. They're kinesthetically aware. They understand the physics of what they should be doing. I mean, the self-awareness of what they're doing is extremely impressive.
He did hit that headlock. Looked like he might have slipped it for a second. There was an optional start, and he slipped the headlock. So just 3-2 score right at the buzzer.
That's a great period right there for both wrestlers. And Vancelet will take a 3-2 lead, as Tim mentioned, into the second period. And they'll start neutral.
Yeah, that's the stuff when you're coaching. You try to. It's important to have guys that know the time because you don't want to give up those points at the very end of the buzzer, and it does change things. So he's the aggressor, though. He's coming back, so he shook that off, which was important. He's a senior, though. Andrew Tate with a nice takedown.
He was hurt most of the year, just coming back, according to Coach Sabolis. So I'm sure Andrew very happy to be at this point, 4-3 with 1:30 to go here in the second period.
Well, that's why I was mentioning earlier. You could tell he knew like he shouldn't have given that up at the very end, but he came right back on the attack. You do need seniors on your team. Leadership's important. They teach the younger guys how to fight because, you know, the athletes change culture. They change it. They pass it down. Nice shot. So we got a 4-4 match, 1:15 left. Both guys are neutral.
How much scouting, Tim, goes into something like this in terms of your upcoming opponents? In other sports, you watch video, you watch film, you exchange film. Coaches kind of watch and kind of learn the strengths and the weaknesses of the different wrestlers.
Yeah, I think when wrestling's a little different because you try to focus on what your guy does well. You pick up little nuances of what the other opponent's doing, but you kind of know when a guy is, like if he's a leg rider. I mean, I've had kids that on the feet, they get taken down by everybody. Coaches that didn't scout them would choose bottom, and you could just pin. So you have to pay attention to that. But it's hard on, you just got to know tendencies, what leg they lead, you know. But then you got to make sure your guy can shoot the left side if he's a left leg lead.
And in your practices, do you work on those things in practices, I imagine?
Yeah. You work on all situations like this. You put kids in, you know, a single leg position, teach them how to finish it because you drill it, and they got nice fight here.
Good.
So he was in on that single, so he's got them in the dangers. Ref did give 2 for the near fall. Now, you got 3 seconds to go. You want to just end right here.
Tate will take a 6-4 lead
8-4.
into the third period. 8-4 now. I missed those 2. Very good.
Yeah. So Nashua South is down on bottom. Obviously, they're looking to get a quick point escape. Vanslet, top guy's running that cross face. They like to cross face, ride the wrist, and looks like he's going for the cradle right here. The bottom guy, you got to get a hand control, and you generally won't get cradled if you can get hand control, peel it off. He did a good job there. Vanslet peeled that off, and again, bottom guy, head up is so important. Head up, pressure and back is so important, and got to free his wrist, keep hand fighting. Just keep hand fighting, working up, but Tate's doing a great job keeping his weight on him.
I imagine if you're Tate, you're content to stay in this the entire time. You're up by 4 here.
I would think that, but I think Tate being a senior, I think he wants to get a fall.
Sure.
I think he wants to put his team in a better position to possibly win, right? Vanslet working hard. Good job coming up. Just trying to see what the coach is looking for him to do. So he's going opposite. Yeah, he's jamming. Bottom guy did a good job coming up to his feet. Hand fight, you got a warning, stalling. You do have to bring him to the mat. If you don't, they will hit you for stalling. So you got an 8-6 match now because of a stall call, and 8-5, there it is, 8-5. So 40 seconds.
And a lot can happen, as we all know,
right,
in 40
if
seconds.
Vanslet can get his 1 and a quick 2, you can tie this match up. I mean, obviously, he's got to be exploding on bottom, trying to get a quick 1, and then a takedown. So optional start.
And he's going to concede a point here, is that right?
I don't know. I see the coaches over there. I don't know if he's going to try to. Sometimes it's the strategy behind this. Try to right there. You're trying to cradle. You're kind of baiting him a little bit, seeing if he's going to turn into you.
A little gamesmanship.
Yep. So I know why the coach got a little stressed for a second there, but he didn't give him the point because it's too risky right now to give the 1, and anything can happen in a scramble, and you don't want to put this in overtime.
It's a pretty important match, too, for both of these teams. You're Nashua North. It would be great to put some more points on the board here.
Change direction. At this point, you just want to be smart on top. You don't want to get fancy. If you can pin him, but you don't want to give up anything. And he does want that pin. So,
Oh yeah.
You want to just make sure you get the win at least. Always trying to score. I like that about Tate, trying to score right to the end, trying to pin.
Aggressive, not just resting on it.
And keeping your man down, finishing a match is important. It's always good to score first and score last.
Tate will get the win there at
good fight.
138. So a good battle there between North and South.
I like the 6-minute matches.
All right, we are now at the 145 weight class. Brian Mwangi, a junior from Nashua North, and Drew Fleury, a 145-pounder from Nashua South. It is Battle of the Bridge week here at Nashua North High School. Nashua North holding a 5-3 advantage, but plenty of action still to come with boys and girls basketball, unified basketball. Big 2-1 win for Nashua North hockey last night.
Wow, nice shot. Wow. I wanted you to go like a duck under double and then work that single. Both the juniors, I don't know if they've ever met head to head. Nice escape. just kind of cut him. Good job on his feet.
A lot of these guys, Tim, see each other outside of the realm of high school wrestling, right? They train together, they go to local gyms and different places together, and not just the Boys and Girls Club, but other places around the state, I imagine.
Yeah, these kids go to clubs now. You know, Joe LaPlante always ran the Gate City. I know a lot of these kids saw each other there. Fleury just tried to hit that kind of like a crossbody hip toss. And these guys are battling. These guys are a lot of over and unders, looking to throw. I'm curious if we're going to get a big throw here. I like to play it safe and work your basic shots, double singles. Mwangi, you got to free your. I was just going to say, you got to free your hips, and good job getting off his back. You got a 3-2 match with 40 seconds. Obviously, the bottom guy, Mwangi, just got to look to get his one. Fleury's riding the wrist. Now he's running out to the side. It's always tough when they come out the side. You're getting that pressure, and bottom guy doesn't look away. It's hard to stop a half. He did a good job here. Mwangi did a good job fighting that. Just got to slide the knees up and try to work pressure back. So we get 10 seconds, see where this period goes. If they finish at 3-2, if somebody's going to store. So we get the bottom guy stalling. Now he's pressuring up. Jeez, that was explosive. Good. No, that's good. He has energy. You want to see that right from the start.
Long you'll take this.
So we get 4 seconds. If you can get a quick stand up and a quick one, Granby. Good
He
job.
trapped his feet right there with his legs.
Yeah, no, top guy,
Yeah.
he's savvy. He knew what he was doing.
We're going to head into the second period, and Drew Fleury with a 3-2 lead.
Yep. And neutral, North just went neutral for Brian Mwangi. That's where he scored, so I'd put him back there as well. And double leg by Fleury. Nice shot. A nice overhook. Nice bailout. There's the headlock in. A lot of headlocks up here in Nashua. A lot of headlocks. Tell you what, that was a great bailout. That looked like an easy double, and he overhooked or whizzer, whatever you want to call it. And good job coming out of that, putting it back neutral. These are great matches here. Nice shot. Kind of faked right, went left. Basic little single. Mwangi right up to score. Got his one. Wow.
Oh.
Look at that little slip. You just kind of little slide
Boy,
by.
something like that, huh? Can change the complexion of a match 5-5.
You get a 5-5 match now. Now let's see, top guy, what he's looking to do. He may just cut him, yep. So, Fleury in on a quick shot. Good fight. Good fight. I like those quick ones
right
and try to go
escape,
for it too. Yeah, well, it's a lot of times when the guy's not. Nice bear hug right to the back. Wow. Well, gave the two. He did give the two
he
there.
Didn't, I don't think, did he? 6-5.
No.
Nope,
I
Drew
don't know
Fleury
why.
6-5. I think he called him out maybe?
Yeah, I'm not sure why. Nice shot right off the whistle.
Jesus.
Fleury took a nice hard shot. Nope.
Mwangi in a bad spot here.
Yeah. I don't know if he got injured on that shot. Looked like he's hesitated for a second. Might have. You're not used to a low single. Sometimes it does put a little pressure on the knee. Good fight, though.
All right, we are at 152. Zach Goff here for Nashua South and Dimitri Marino for Nashua North.
Everybody was really happy about everything. Good. It's going great.
We got a lacrosse player here, and Zach Gothy is going to play lacrosse at Riviera. A lot of lacrosse players. It's a great sport for them. And my son's a lacrosse player and just out of wrestling, and I understand why people like lacrosse. Not cutting weight. It's a little more fun,
yeah, I
right?
like to eat. I don't know. It's
So I don't blame Zach for wanting to be a lacrosse player at Riv. It'd be great if they had a wrestling team.
sure.
Be a dual athlete. But he's got to be chest on chest here, not rolling to his back to get the fall.
Gauthier trying to get this fall. Good fight there by Marino.
He's got that head tight. He's got to just crank it up a little bit, try to go chest to chest. But Marino's fighting, trying to keep that leg, give the hips. At least he's getting an opportunity to turn his head. There's a fall.
Got him there. Yeah. So Gauthier with the fall at 152 over Dimitri Marino. Marino only a freshman. All right, we have Eddie Reyes-Adorno at 160 against Dom Gentry for Nashua North. It is a 36-9 Purple Panther advantage. First period action here. 2 minutes on the clock, and we're underway at 160s.
Dom's a senior. Call a tie. Both guys working wrists. You know, I always say when I teach or if I give a clinic or something, it's so much you got to control the hand fight, and wrestling is a hand fight from every position. And the sooner these guys learn, you got to control that tie up and the hand fight position, the more success they have. And get on that grip strength. Nice takedown. Little front headlock. Just at him. Got the Western hook in. Another one. He's trying to work. Control the wrist. He's controlling the wrist. He's looking for his cross wrist. 2-on-1 cross wrist. I'm assuming he's trying to tilt him.
That's a good translation too, Tim, between football and wrestling. We oftentimes in football talk about hand placement and the hand-to-hand combat and how it translates really well into the wrestling world and vice versa.
Yep. Well, these guys, think about it. You're on bottom. If you control the wrist, you can slide your knees, you come up. Top guy's trying to control your wrist and keep you down. We call it hand fight, but a lot of times you're on that wrist trying to roll the wrist. That's why you have to have a weight room. And that's why every wrestling room in America should have a pull-up bar, or 14 of them, because one for each weight class, and these guys got to get on that. It's great for your grip.
Just installed 6 of them in their wrestling room.
They got to use them. It's important. And a lot of these guys, you see the builds. You can kind of tell the older guys. You can see the development on them, and these younger guys. They just got to keep training and keep lift. You got to lift in this sport. Lots of push-ups, lots of pull-ups, and it's great for the hand fight. It's got the wrists in the half now. Eddie's doing a good job on bottom. That's tough when you look in. You don't want to look in. The Gentry's running it. Gentry's a senior, though. He's probably been in this duel 4 times and knows the importance of it. Jam, there it is, the wrist. If he extends that arm, he can duck it and right into half. He's doing a good job on top. He's keeping him flat. He just got to come out to the side. It's hard to turn a guy when you're parallel. You got to come out to the side and look to run the half. He's got the power half in now. Got to look for those little openings if he's posting. See if you can slip a half in there.
1:20 to go here in the second period. 2-0 advantage for Reyes-Adorno.
Breaking into his hip now. This is tough. He broke into the hip.
With the advantage.
You know, from our angle, it's hard to believe he's not on his back, but he's not. He's doing a good job fighting. I was ready to say the ref was counting backs, but it looks like from here with the legs.
Did he want to keep his legs wide in a situation like that, Tim, or bring them in close? The wider the base, the better, maybe?
Whatever works. When you're on your back, whatever works, right? I mean, you got to just, the whole key to not get pinned, you teach, just don't go to your back, but it's not that easy.
And fatigue
Yep.
Makes cowards of us all,
yes,
right?
Yes, it does. And he's fighting out there. And, you know, the leg position, you really, if you can ever get your hips under you to arch and to rotate, to turn, it's important.
Gentry with a chance here to roll him.
Yeah. Well, he's got 20 seconds. I'm sure the coaches from South will let him know it's the time. If the guy can fight, sometimes letting them know the time, they can stay off just long enough and give him an opportunity in the third.
And no chance of a stall in this situation like this, right?
No, you know, you're in a position. It's hard for the bottom guy to do anything. Top guy, you just sit there anyways. You just work for the fall, and so he didn't get it. Good fight by Eddie. Eddie Reyes, Adorno.
Gentry will take a 5-0 lead into the third and final period. 2 minutes on the clock. 36-9 our total so far, but Nashua North looking to come out top at 160s.
He's riding the wrist again. He's looking to just slide that under. Little duck under there to a half. There he goes. So the important thing here, you got a decision is worth 3, which brings it to 12. So obviously the bottom guy top guy wants the pin, but if nothing else, gets him near fall, and you get the major.
Is there a magic number here, Tim, you try to get to in wrestling in terms of a score? Is there a number you're looking to get to know that you have things pretty well in hand?
Yeah. It's a mathematical equation. As long as you know when you're the coach, when you calculate how many matches are left, as long as you know if they pin you and they can't win with 5 to go, then that's it. It's just, but you want momentum. You want to come out strong, and you want to win. Your key guys that are supposed to win need to win, and the guys that aren't supposed to win need to pull an upset, right?
Certainly it might change the way you wrestle as well. Maybe more defensive style if you know all you have to do is avoid the pin.
Yeah, and you know, when these are tight matches, sometimes these end up being wins for the team that loses, because if his job was to stay off his back and he did that, then that's a big win.
Sometimes
that's a win.
a loss is a win, sure.
Yep.
5-0 here, 54 seconds to go in the third period. Gentry on top.
Look at the reversal,
but he reversed it.
So Eddie Reyes Adorno just kept fighting. He's making this match interesting, potentially dangerous. You know, Gentry had that 5-0 lead, and he just has to try to get his one. Be smart, just get you one. Because again, a turn here could change everything. And conditioning does factor in. You have 30 seconds. You know, the Nashua South bench is going crazy, trying to encourage Eddie to make something happen. And this is where these are the guys, if they're not supposed to win, these are the opportunities that come now.
15 seconds to go.
The Nashua South bench is pumped up for Eddie and hoping I'm assuming Eddie was the underdog in this, because they're pretty fired up. And he's fighting, but Gentry's going to hold on for the win, and he got the win.
Gentry with a 5-2 decision over Reyes Adorno, but a great match there.
Good match.
Very exciting.
Nashua South coaches are fired up, so that's a big match.
So
for
there
them.
it is, a win coming from a loss. They saw some things they liked.
Absolutely.
You didn't get the W, but you measure wins in different ways in the sport, no question about it. We are at 170s now. Connor Goodwin of Nashua South facing off against Anthony Sexton. Sexton is 7-9, a senior here for the Titans.
Yep. Connor Goodwin was a D1 placer last year at 160. He's a senior and battling another senior. I have to assume these guys have competed before, right? I'm sure Joe would know. I think he stepped away, but I'm sure he would know if they've battled at Gate City or anything.
Joe LaPlante,
long-time
wrestling aficionado here in the city of Nashua.
No doubt. Keeps track of a lot of kids. Helps out a lot. He knows everything they're doing, I think, sometimes.
No question about it. I've had a couple of meetings with Joe and some kids, and cares a lot about the youth here in the city of Nashua, no question.
No doubt. You need people like that. It's important. So we got Nashua South, Goodwin with the takedown. And he's got to hook the arm. No back points. For a minute there, it looked like Sexton was going to come out and maybe just get his one. There's a hand fight from the bottom. He's doing his best. bottom guy's moving like that, it's going to be hard for the ref to call the stall call. He's got that. Didn't set, he just kind of rolled him through, gave him an opportunity. So you got to control the wrist. He got the cradle lock. Got the cradle locks. Got to be careful here. If he doesn't go the right way, he'll pop his arm. Cradle to cradle, we would call it. It's going to be tough here. That arm's out. Get 20 seconds left in the period. Don't pull him on top of you.
Good win
He's
with
going
a
to pop
2-0
his head
advantage.
right here.
Yep.
He may, if he pops his head, he may have the reversal. Sexton may get the reversal here, but looks like Goodwin's holding on. No,
He got it.
he
No,
did.
he didn't.
He did.
He did,
Reversal
okay.
right second ago. He got the
Wow.
reversal. Good fight.
Hate to give up, like you had mentioned,
Yep.
giving up those points with 1, 2, 3 seconds
Yep.
left in a period.
Yep.
We'll go into the second period locked up at 2-2. 170-pounders Anthony Sexton and Connor Goodwin.
Well, from a coaching point of view, those are things you know at the end of the year, the states in New England, you can't make those mistakes.
Right.
You can't give up something at the end because it can come back to bite you. So that's
Teachable
why you
moments.
always tell, you tell them always to wrestle through. You know, don't stop wrestling till you hear the whistle, and no. So a lot of you guys, the older guys, they learn the clock. They know what time is left.
They probably know too from feel.
Yeah, well,
in terms
you
of how
do,
their
yeah.
body's feeling
No-
at that
no
point in
doubt.
time.
No doubt.
Now they're at 170 points here,
Trying to
or
hit
170
Peterson.
pounds.
Yep.
But they're allotted weight as the season progresses, right?
Yeah, it's changed so much. Look at this. He's getting the near fall. He's getting the near fall.
Oh,
There it is in the
got him.
fall. Pinned him.
Yep.
Pinned him. Wow. Good one. Good match.
Yeah, good match.
We got a 42-12 match now.
Whiting. And we're at 182s now.
182.
Robert Isaac from Nashua South. Spencer Whiting from Nashua North. Whiting, a junior at 9-6 entering this match, and Isaac a 9-16 record.
Both guys just in the collar tie right now. You know, you start getting to the upper weights, there's a lot more collar tie, push, pull. It's nice when you have bigger guys that are shooting good right there.
That's a good shot.
Gotta turn the corner. You know, it's great to have guys shoot shots. You got to create that angle. Takedown by Whiting.
I'm not sure if there's any truth to this, though, Tim, but I have heard that at the lighter weights, you see more technical, whereas at the bigger guys, you're seeing more, you know.
You do. A lot of times the lighter weights, they have to train differently than the bigger guys. When you get in a room, it's hard to get big bodies. Obviously, a lot of the kids that are the bigger kids have played football if you can't get them out. But, I mean, you do have athletes that are skilled at the upper weights, but it is a different style of wrestling, especially when you get closer to the heavyweight. Oh, looks. No, but he ran a full Nelson. That's only allowed in WWE.
No pyrotechnics or entry music here.
No.
No turnbuckles.
No, it was a mistake. Whiting on top, 45 to go. Sharon bring him to the mat. Just trying to see what he likes to work. The other thing he's got to be careful of, you can't lock your hands. He's got to be careful of that. So that'll be a point if the ref catches it.
And again, all teachable moments for these guys to review when they go back in the room tomorrow and break down their film. And
well, you know, the way the season works, December is a different kid than January. January is different than February. And a lot of times, every match you're constantly developing teachable moments. So kids improve throughout the whole year.
another one?
Yep.
Another full Nelson, so another point. My question, Tim, is so in track, right, you have something called periodization. You're training your training changes as the
Yep.
season progresses in terms of volume and percentage of
Yep.
output. Same thing with wrestling as the season progresses?
No, it definitely is. I mean,
Rest is best
you
towards
know,
the
I know
end.
the mentality our kids had is they thought, you know, we convinced them that how hard we work, but I keep all my logs, and that first week you never wrestled more than 2.5 minutes total.
Right.
But they were convinced they went for an hour. So you
Sure.
you can't, you do have to train.
Sure.
But you do have to taper down at different times. And plus you got to know the athletes, and he pulled himself up trying to hit head and arm, and just getting caught here, and now he's got to fight off his back. So Isaac's just trying to run him over, and he's going to have to get chest to chest, lower his chest, and he is trying to do that. There he is. See, he's seeing him make the adjustment right there. Going to have to lift him. Whiting's fighting, though. Whiting's scrapper. Minute 22, lots of time. Look at that. Good fight. Good fight by Whiting.
Yeah.
But Isaac put himself in a good position, and see what he does on top now.
Just about a minute to go here in the second period. 6-2 for Isaac.
Running that crossface. Yeah, see Whiting just there. He's locking up the cradle. It's going to be tough to get. He's out of position right now. All right. He's got to turn the other way.
Roll it.
Not sure how he got that. Let's see if he can finish this. It's going to be, yeah, nope. Whiting needed to turn the other way. He might have been able to pop that and put him on his back, but
25 seconds here in the second period. Still 4-2.
Isaac's tough. He's running that crossface and arm. He wants that. Now he's going to pull it through. Little corkscrew. All right. So one good fight here. We got a 4-3 match. Remember, 2 of those points were on illegal moves.
Right.
Right.
Could be a different a lead for Whiting going into the third period, if not for those full Nelsons. Coaches will come back to the scoring table.
7-3.
Another discussion on this score. Want to make sure we have it correct here. Thus far, 6-3 now at the 182s.
Good news is rest time. So
Yeah, as we spoke about before, the rest time is huge for both of these guys.
either
So-
one of them were getting tired and they're losing a little bit of energy. They're going to regain it. We're going to have a nice little, hopefully a good, hard-fought
Good
2
third
minutes
period,
of wrestling coming
no
up
doubt,
here.
No doubt. So 6-3 as we head into the third period here. 42-12 advantage for Nashua South.
Yep.
Third period action at 182s. Robert Isaac of Nashua South and Spencer Whiting of Nashua North locked up here in a great battle.
Isaac's trying to work those underhooks. A lot of push-pull here. Both guys ear to ear, you know, very hard to score ear to ear. So Isaac's looking for that underhook. Trying to, there he is. He's fighting those underhooks. Nice shot. He's doing a good job coming up. Isaac's stuff in the head, that's important. Well, we get 2. You know, I'm not sure if they're going to have him cut him and take him down again. So he's down 6-5. If he can't turn him here, I would probably cut him and try to take him down again and see if you can put it into overtime. It looks like they're thinking that of possibly cutting him. This is when you give a guy a handful of seconds, and if you're not going to turn him, you don't want to give away another penalty point, right?
Right.
So he's running that half, see if he can get it. You just want to make sure he's running that half. He's got to go chest to chest, so he's got to lower his level,
Yep.
slide his hips back. So you could just end up, 40 seconds to go. Now he's getting near fall, so he's going to get 3 near fall, it looks like. Isaac's fighting, though. Isaac's fighting, trying to hook the leg to pop through.
26 seconds here to go in the period.
Doesn't look like from here that he's
got that leg hooked.
Yeah. It's going to be tough to pin him right from here the way the angle is. So now he's putting him in the position.
10 seconds.
Yeah, but he's got to settle back. Yeah. Looks like Whiting's going to come away with the victory. He's 8-6
He
match.
does, 8-6.
Yep. 8-6. Good fought match, though. Good comeback. Maybe that rest helped. A little break helped a little bit.
Right.
Got 3 matches to go.
We are at 195s here. Tyler Griffin, a 12-8 senior, taking on Colby Vance, led at 195. 3-5 record. Jason Roby along with Tim O'Keefe. Tim O'Neill on the moving pictures. Pete Johnson is our executive producer. It is Battle of the Bridge Week here at Nashua North.
Vance like going right for the bear hug. Look at him. Going right for the underhooks. That's another brother. Salami's and the Vance. That's 2 sets of brothers.
They're going to give a point on the...
I missed that.
Point to South.
Not sure what happened there. He's looking for underhooks though, Vance lad. He's got to pummel through. That's the headlock here. So Griffin's trying to hit that headlock. Yep. Slipped. Nope, not yet. Didn't slip it yet.
You are right. They do like the headlocks here in the Gate City.
Yep. 2 takedowns, Vancelet. He did a good job there. Good fight to get to his feet, Griffin. Thought he was going to get the 1 there, but they were just out of bounds. Just riding that cross leverage breakdown, trying to control the ankle, and he's looking for the cradle also. It's a tall kid to cradle, though.
Long levers.
Yeah. Yep. Bottom guy's trying to come up. Got to get hands, though. Look at that.
Get out of it.
He almost cradled. Now a crossface is coming. Crossface cradle from North here. Tyler Griffin with the crossface cradle. He's got it pretty tight. He's got to come out, put the knee in the rib over here, though. He's got to get his left knee in his ribs. There he is. Just kind of helps secure it if you pressure it in. It's pretty tight. He lost the crossface, gives him an opportunity. Vance was able to punch out. He lost the crossface. But I have a feeling he's going to run it again.
5 seconds here in the first period.
Half Nelson.
Nothing there. No.
He ran that right over. Nice half.
5-3 heading into the second period.
Self-deferred. Okay. So Vancelet deferred. Griffin chose bottom. Got a tight match, 5-3 match.
And if you've never come to a wrestling match, I will say that the energy here is great. It's always fun to watch. You feel like you want to get out there yourself and just
till the next day, your body's going to be a little sore.
Well,
I wrestled Monday with somebody. It took me till Wednesday to feel good. You get old, so that's why you got to applaud these guys. They recover pretty quickly.
They do indeed.
You know, everything hurts when you get older when you do it. Look at this. He's hitting that. He's looking at bear hug again, and so we had an escape with Griffin. We got a 6-3 match. Griffin, they're both neutral. And if you notice from the earlier, it definitely changes the style of the match with the bigger kids. There's a lot more right here. They're trying to pummel a lot more on the head.
Yeah.
Less shooting.
Yeah.
So that headlock, he missed the head, and there's no 2 yet because he still has his head, but he missed it and he somehow regained it. He just been behind. Smart to know the edge. Well, there's your 2.
Yep.
South now with the lead, right? 7-6.
They have it at 6-5. 6-5 North still. He only awarded, looked like
I don't know if he gave him that.
it was 6-3, so he gave him 2. .50 seconds here in the second period. Griffin up 6-5.
Let's looking to turn, seeing if he gets some quick near fall here. Griffin, yep, just get to his feet, just reach back, get these hips down, you got a hip. It's a tough position to be in, and Griffin, look, he horsed him over. Just did a little head chancery. Just horsed him over.
And he got him.
Oh.
Big win there for Tyler Griffin, senior from Nashua North, over Kobe Vancelet at 195s.
Yep.
Our score now, 42-21.
I mean, the reality is South won this meet. 2 matches to go. Best you can do is 12 points.
All right, we are now at 220s. Jesse Allen, a sophomore, will be taking the place of Dylan McIntyre, who's out with an injury. He'll be going against Nate Zazzle.
Okay. Just looking for that underhook too. Trying a little, wow. Ooh. Good job changing levels. Now he's running a half. That looks like the match right there.
Zazzle gets the fall. We head into our final match of the evening. Heavyweights Max Ackerman, a junior, at 285. He's a 19-8 record against Kyle O'Connor.
Yep, they look like they're friends too because they just kind of did a fist bump to each other. So goes back to earlier. These guys all train together. They're probably all buddies. It's a small world in the wrestling community. O'Connor's off to play football next year at Maine Maritime Academy.
Going to represent the West in the East-West All-Star game for football as well. While Max Ackerman, he'll return to play football here at Nashua North. Good to see these heavyweights out doing battle.
Yep.
Talk to me a little bit, Tim, about when we get to the postseason, is it commonplace for teams to kind of get together and practice together? Is that a common occurrence?
Yeah, we're in Lowell for years. When I was there, my first year of wrestling, they were New England champs. And at that time in 1987, the week of states, the week of New England's, the Merrimack Valley area had like 6 or 7 New England champs, multi-finalists, and everybody trained there. And right up until when I coached, that's just the way it was. At that time, iron sharpens iron. You need
Sure.
the higher caliber kids, and
Right.
plus for coaches, it gets to the point where you can't give them that workout. You got to go find it, and that's what everybody does. So
Sure.
again, these two fist bump. They know each other.
Yep.
They probably know each other's every move, and they probably do have to train with each other towards the end.
Talk about New England powerhouses. You got to look at Timberlane Regional High School in Plastow here in New Hampshire.
Yep.
Certainly one of the better programs in all of New England year after year.
Absolutely. They have a great system, great program, and it's been good for the sport for the state of New Hampshire that they've represented them. Concord's another powerhouse up here.
Londonderry has been one of the teams to be in the mix here in the Granite State. And
oh, yeah.
And certainly we mentioned at the beginning of the broadcast here that, Nashua High School at one time was in that conversation. And I know both of these coaches want to get them back into that conversation.
Yeah, and hopefully that's the goal. And again, goes back to the boys club. It's a good feeder system. Takedown to O'Connor right at the buzzer. He gave it to him.
And those are big points.
Yep.
We'll head into the second period here. O'Connor with a 2-0 lead over Ackerman.
Yep, you get that right at the buzzer. See, again, it goes back that It's good to score at the very end. Changes the whole match, having that 2-0 lead. You get your one, now you got a 3-0 lead where it might have just been one, and it does change the mindset of your opponent, changes what you're going to do.
Well, you feel pressed, right? You feel like I don't have a lot of time to make this happen, and might change your game plan.
Yep, and that's why it was important. My philosophy was if you can get that 2 and you ride them out, always choose bottom to start the second and get that 3-0 lead, because three is a different number than 2, right?
It's a game changer.
It's a game changer.
Right.
And, so it's
2 moves and not 1.
So you're coaching in the room, and obviously the coaches do it, but the kids have to learn it. You don't want to give up those points towards the end of any of the periods. You just don't want to, because it does change things. And it looks like these two know each other pretty well, and sometimes that may be what wins it.
I also like the fact, too, that at any given match you could...
Not sure why Ackerman stopped. He looked like he was coughing, and he just kind of backed off. And I think that's where when you're friends...
friends, like, all right, let you get gather
that's
yourself.
When you got to shoot and see if you can just take it down,
Right.
Because you never know if somebody's playing possum, right?
Right, exactly right. You get 2 big guys going at it here in the center of the circle.
And that's where you teach again, wrestle till you hear the whistle, because if the ref didn't blow the whistle, that was an opportunity to try to take somebody down. But again, it looks like these guys know each other well and have a good relationship.
Connor with a 3-0 advantage with 25 seconds to go here in the second period. This is our last match of the evening.
Yep. Again, a lot of push-pull. Don't see a lot of the shots at this point. This is doing a good job. Now he's just got to use it, see if he's going to work the Russian or 2-on-1. And O'Connor's doing a good job controlling the wrist.
End of the second period. O'Connor will take a 3-0 advantage into the last period of the evening. Nashua South on top 49-21 at this point.
So this is big here for Ackerman. I mean, obviously you want that one escape. He gets that one escape. It goes back to if you don't get that takedown at the start, you get a 1-1 match, which changes things. So there's a little comfort here having that 3-0 lead.
And that's exactly what you talked about at the beginning, right? Get that 3 points.
Yep.
Changes the complexion of things.
Ackerman still, though, for the sake of just, you still want to get that 1, try to get a 1 and 2, and you want to score. You do want to score because you will see each other again, and you're kind of always looking for some type of edge, right? But he's tough on top right now. His hips are out on bottom, and he's got to just keep hand fighting and working to come up. He had that opening for a second and just he didn't take it. He's more of an iron frog. He's got a hand fight. Tough. They're both big boys. It's, Connor's doing a good job riding. He really is just riding. I don't know if he's going to turn him or if he's trying to turn, but he's riding him well. And the bottom guy has to sense that, try to slip that right knee right there, come up and at least get one. There's 35 seconds to go.
See if Ackerman can get that ever elusive point. O'Connor making life very difficult for him.
Yep, O'Connor's doing a good job keeping him down. And just looks like he's hanging on, but Ackerman really has to try to get that 1. And I think the ref senses that, why you wouldn't call anybody.
Final 10 seconds here of the evening.
Yep. Hey, he wrote him out. Even if he didn't score that takedown, it would have been a 1-0 win.
Right.
So good victory. Good hard-fought victory.
And a great night here tonight from the campus of Nashua North High School. And Nashua South going to walk away with the 52-21 victory. But if you're Coach Zabolis of Nashua North, you have to be happy with some of the things you saw, especially as we talked about at the beginning of the night. You had 4 wrestlers in your program a couple of years ago, and now you're fielding an entire squad as we head into, in a couple of weeks, we talked about the class meets, and all of these matches tonight will dictate placement in terms of where you're seated going into those meets, and so they all count, right, Tim?
Right, they all count, and both coaches, win or lose. I mean, like you said, the program's being back up number-wise is huge, but like any coach, you're never satisfied, and there's always things to work and there's things to build up, and you praise the guys that did their job. Other guys, you just keep building them up too, because you still have plenty of time left in the season to make changes, develop, and just trust the process. That's what the athletes need. They need to trust the process that you will improve.
And you have to like what you see here. These kids know each other. They wrestle together. They play against each other, certainly in other sports, and shaking hands and well wishes for each of them. When you're on the mat, it's a different story. But now that it's over, they're friends again. And as you said, they'll see each other again. This is Battle of the Bridge week, and Nashua South has just brought it to a 5-4 advantage for North. So they're creeping ever so close as we go to, weather permitting, a unified basketball game tomorrow afternoon. And then the varsity boys and girls basketball games will take place on Friday. It's been a great night here from the campus of Nashua North High School. For a long time, Lowell wrestling coach Tim O'Keefe. Tim O'Neill, our cameraman, and of course Pete Johnson, our executive producer. I am Jason Roby signing off. Take care, folks.
Good night.